The new Cavs have spoken. The real Rookie of the Year and 8 games of NBA action. That's what we got on the schedule for today, so let's go. Yo, what is up guys? It's me, Zach Lee, back bringing some more daily NBA news. You guys already know that you are the real MVPs, and hey, if you're new here, then welcome. So glad you could join us. You are also greatly appreciated. But now with the introductions out the way, let's just get into everything that went down yesterday. I think this was probably the first time that people were actually looking forward to watching the Cleveland Cavaliers play, since it was going to be Isaiah Thomas's first game back in action. The new look Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Boston Celtics, and right off the bat with this new Cavs team, you could sense a different kind of energy. It was a lighter, more fun, I don't want to say carefree, but you know, you couldn't sense any hostility coming from any other players on the team. So you had that, and on top of that, all the guys were just out there competing, hustling, playing for each other. It was egoless basketball. And the defense of this team, it was insane. Even when LeBron James had to leave the game for a few minutes after he ran into Aaron Baines, things didn't start to go immediately downhill because all of the guys on the court for the Cavs were playing together, especially on the defensive end. And as soon as LeBron came back, that's when things really took off because they kept the same defensive intensity, but now you had LeBron James setting guys up left and right, and that had the offense clicking as well. It was just incredible to see a Cavs team that was actually playing together, actually playing well, having fun playing. And after the game, I found it kind of interesting how all the new guys were saying the exact opposite of the things that the old guys were saying about the Cavaliers. Remember how Isaiah Thomas would say after every game that the players on the Cavs don't trust each other, especially on the defensive end, that they don't have their back.
We're not together. We're not together on both ends. I mean, it's a lot of one-on-one on the offensive end, maybe because we don't trust each other. And then on the defensive end, it's the same thing. Guys are put on islands and there's no trust.
He said that pretty much after every single game, and it's not like he was wrong. He was right. They didn't trust each other on defense and they didn't play for each other. But now take a listen to what Jordan Clarkson had to say about the Cavs after just one game.
5 men on the string defensively in both units. Did that surprise you at all?
Yeah, especially without no practice or nothing crazy. So a lot of it was just all communication. You know, we did a good job communicating and helping each other, having each other's back, moving, flying around the court. I think it was awesome.
Communicating and having each other's back. They could do that in their first game. However, the Cavs from earlier in the year still couldn't do that after playing like 50 games together. And he also said that they were having fun out there.
I feel like, you know, we keep playing like that, having fun, moving the ball. Things are going to come a lot faster for us.
What did he say to you after the game? Anything?
That's the way to hoop. That's the way to hoop. That's it.
Fun is something that the old Cleveland Cavaliers never had when they were playing on the court together. And it wasn't just Jordan Clarkson who felt this way. Rodney Hood pretty much said the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, just flying around, helping each other out, I think it was big. You know, when a guy got beat, a guy came over, you know, we really talked well. And like I said, as we get to know the terminology, I think that's the biggest thing for me personally. That's the terminology of everything, right? I think we'll get that much better.
See, the problem with the old Cavs is they just had too many egos on that team. Too many egos and players who just didn't get along. This Cavs team, there are no egos besides, I guess, LeBron, of course, but it's just a bunch of hardworking players that want to win games and that will compete on a nightly basis. They don't care if they're not dropping 20 a night or getting the credit that they feel they deserve. All they want to do is win games. You take a bunch of guys like that and put them around LeBron, and you might not even need to have that second star, even though they will when Kevin Love returns. But even then, he is a pretty egoless star as well. He's all about the team. And George Hill said it best yesterday. We have one of the best players in the history of the game. I'm sure he's going to dictate the tempo and things like that. We just have to do our job, be the best role players we can possibly be. He's the Batman and we all have to be Robins. We gotta figure it out. Egoless, completely egoless. As for LeBron James, it seems like he's loving it so far. You could tell just by watching the game that he was having more fun on the court than he has been having in a very long time. And after the game, he said it's because he likes being around smart players that play hard and play together.
Just like being around guys who want to play and work hard. I know I demand a lot of excellence from my teammates, but I demand it out of myself too. And you know, we're on the road. We want to try to play as well as we can, and put ourselves in contention to try to compete for another championship, and that's my mindset.
Is it possible that LeBron James stays on the Cleveland Cavaliers now? I know the popular opinion is that he's gone after this year. And yes, it still wouldn't surprise me if he did leave. But if he keeps having fun and the Cavs continue to play well with this young core, and even if they don't beat the Golden State Warriors or whoever comes out of the West in the NBA Finals, is it possible that he still stays? Because in the interview, he also said that it's his job to keep the new players happy about playing with the Cleveland Cavaliers as they continue to develop a winning culture.
Well, I know that the guys that that's here, they're very excited about this opportunity, and it's my job to keep them excited about being here and joining something that obviously the last couple months haven't been as what we expected, but over the course of the 4 years since I came back, it's been really good basketball. So it's my job as the leader of this team to make sure that I acclimate the new 4 guys to be around a culture that's built around winning and built around practicing championship habits. So that's it.
That statement alone right there could cause you to believe that he is planning on staying with the Cleveland Cavaliers to help them develop this winning culture, but we'll just have to wait and see. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. For now, it's just good to know that this should be the end of all the Cleveland Cavaliers drama. Thank you. The Rookie of the Year award was supposed to have been Ben Simmons, hands down. He was supposed to have been the unanimous Rookie of the Year. That's what it seemed like early in the NBA season. However, since then, this one particular name keeps popping up. Donovan Mitchell, as he has great game after great game after great game. And that was to the point where people are genuinely split on who should be the Rookie of the Year. You could make great arguments for both players. And it's not even like you could just reward one of them for winning. Both of the teams have been winning, especially the Utah Jazz as of late. So it will be extremely hard to pick a favorite to win the award right now unless you are Damian Lillard, as he just came right out and said it yesterday that Donovan Mitchell should hands down be the Rookie of the Year.
I think he should be Rookie of the Year for sure. Not just because of his numbers, but his impact on their team. He's basically leading them, and it's special to see a rookie be able to do what he's doing out there. He's able to get to the rim. He shoot the ball with ease, just not afraid, really aggressive, and he's a really good player, not just for a rookie, but just as a player in this league, period.
That's huge praise coming from an already established player in this league. And he is also right. Donovan Mitchell is a huge reason why the Jazz have been as good as they have been this year. He gives them a go-to guy in offense, a guy the defense have to legit concern themselves of, or else he'll drop 40 on them. So I wouldn't be mad if he won the award, but then there's also Ben Simmons. Now you could say that Joel Embiid is more important to the Philadelphia 76ers than Ben Simmons, while there is no one more important on the Utah Jazz than Donovan Mitchell, but I don't really, let me just leave it at this. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be really close. And I guess that's a good segue into this. It's about the time where I get your opinions on everything that went down. It's question of the day time. And today's question of the day is this: Ben Simmons or Donovan Mitchell? Who do you guys feel deserves Rookie of the Year and why? Let me know down in the comment section below, but now let's take a quick look at what you guys said in yesterday's video. And yesterday, after Isaiah Thomas had his great debut with the Los Angeles Lakers, I asked you guys if you think he can get back to the old Isaiah Thomas and if it was just he didn't fit in with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And here's what you had to say: he'll get back to his old form. He just didn't fit in Cleveland. IT had a great debut for Cleveland too. I'm a Lakers fan, but with the way he's been playing for the other 15 games, I'm not putting any confidence into him until he's consistently playing well. I was low-key thinking the same thing about how he played great in his Cleveland Cavaliers debut too. But I like to think on the positive side, and I also don't see why Isaiah Thomas wouldn't be able to get back to his old self. But at the end of the day, you are right. It's going to take more than just one game to be like, oh, Isaiah Thomas is back. That's more fool's gold. You can't believe that. He has to prove that he can play like this for the rest of the season, and I truly hope he can. Don't forget to leave your answer for today's question of the day down in the comment section below. But now let's take a real quick look at the games from last night. Blowout, 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 and why not? Blowout. I just summarized the Raptors' past like 5 or 6 games that they all won. This team has been dismantling other teams as of late, and in case you didn't know, they do have the #1 seed in the East right now. They already had it before last night, but now that they won and Boston lost, they have a little extra breathing room. 123-103 the final score over the Hornets, and this one, DeRozan had his best game in unlike the past 4 or 5 games. See, this team is still blowing out other teams even when DeRozan and Lowry are struggling with their shot. DeMar had 25 last night though, but once again, it was the bench for Toronto that was the MVP. Literally every player on the Raptors roster scored 55 points off the bench. 24 of those coming from CJ Miles, who was 6 of 9 from deep. The Grizzlies just got blown out by the Westbrook-less, Melo-less OKC Thunder, 110-92. I don't even know what else to say. Paul George had 33 points. Yep. When was the last time the Rockets lost? I feel like it's been a while. Looks like they currently have an 8-game winning streak after the 104-97 win over Dallas. Paul and Harden combining for 52 points, 14 rebounds, and 14 assists. Remember before the season started how some people were questioning if that backcourt would actually work and if Paul actually made this Rockets team any better? I truly hope no one's saying those things anymore. Speaking of 8 wins in a row though, Utah, where is this coming from? The level of greatness that this team has been playing on in their last 8 games is unreal. Donovan Mitchell with another good game, 27 points on the night, 115-96 the final score over the Blazers. And the only reason it wasn't a 50-point win for the Jazz was because Damian Lillard, who scored 39 for the Blazers. Jay Crowder also played his first game with the Jazz yesterday and looked just like the old Jay Crowder from Boston. He had 15 points and hit a few threes, played some good defense. And after the game, he said it was just an unbelievable experience and that he enjoys playing in the Jazz's system.
How do you describe your debut as a Jazz man?
Unbelievable. These guys have welcomed me since I walked through the door. And playing on the court with them is very, very, very fun, man. I got back to having fun playing basketball. Man, with a great group of guys. It couldn't happen no better. And I love it. I love playing with them. I love playing within the system. It'll be fun.
It has a lot to do with how successful a player is in the NBA. A player can look great on one team and one system, then go somewhere else and not look nearly as good. And there's nothing wrong with that. That means they're a system player. And there's this kind of negative stigma that some people have about system players, that they're not actually really good players. But at the end of the day, they still have to be able to do the things that they do in that system. They still need to be able to perform. Minnesota snapped their little losing skid with the 111-106 win over the Kings. Karl Anthony Towns with a great game of 29 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. And somehow the Pistons lost to the Hawks yesterday. Do any of you guys feel like when your favorite team loses and you sat there and watched the entire thing, like that you just wasted a bunch of your time? Like, to be honest, that's how I feel, especially when they lose to a team like the Hawks. 118-115 the final score. Dwayne Dedmon hit a dagger 3 in the closing minutes. He had 20 points and 13 rebounds, while Drummond had 25 points and 15 rebounds for Detroit. Victor Oladipo tallied his second 30-point game in a row as the Pacers get the 121-113 win over the Knicks. 30 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, and 6 steals for Depot in New York. Why are y'all starting Jarrett Jack? You have 2 young point guards, 4 point guards in total in your rotation, and Jarrett Jack is the last one who should be starting. Let the young guys start. Moutier had 14 points and 10 assists in his New York debut. That wraps up all the action from last night though. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to smack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more daily NBA news, as well as join the quest to 200,000 subscribers, hashtag a million in a year. Remember to vote for the player of the day, but also remember the only players whose team won are eligible to win player of the day. And yesterday that player was none other than Anthony Davis and his 44 points, 17 rebounds, and 6 steals. Thank you once again for watching. I'll see all of you right back here tomorrow, but until then, I am out of here. Peace.